Or what he's doing is he's arguing that just because having children is a path to being happy, he's saying that it is the only path to being happy, by way of arguing that without children, you will be unhappy. The quintessential factor to your happiness is gratitude. That is the absolute end-all be-all of whether or not you're happy, okay, or your level of happiness. Way of, raising somebody else and taking on this lifelong commitment to another person just so that you can, if you want self-development, take a self-development course, or I don't know, start a pizza shop or a restaurant. Welcome to another episode of Good Problems to Have with David Nima. I am your host and author of the book, Good Problems to Have, The Anatomy of Contemporary Happiness. I consider myself a happiness expert, and in today's episode, I am going to react to Patrick Bet-David, who has put out a very interesting video about why women are happier if they have kids. Now, the issue here that I have with Patrick is that he's just using antiquated ideology to push the idea that without kids, you're going to be less happy, and therefore with kids, you will be more happy. Now, the central premise of this video, and the reason that I'm doing a reaction to it, is because kids don't necessarily increase your happiness. Now, there are some connections between children and happiness, and we'll discuss that. But if kids were the solution to happiness, then most therapists would prescribe children for, depressed patients, essentially. And you're not seeing a lot of therapists do that. And the reason for that is because what he's mistaking correlation with causation, or what he's doing is he's arguing that just because having children is a path to being happy, he's saying that it is the only path to being happy, by way of arguing that without children, you will be unhappy. And this is just, like I said, antiquated, logical fallacy type of argument. The quintessential factor to your happiness is gratitude. That is the absolute end-all be-all of whether or not you're happy, okay, or your level of happiness. It's gratitude. It's not how many kids you have, okay, or whether or not you have children. So there's a lot of issues with this video and some of the statistics that he puts out in terms of children or women without children, their happiness changes maybe at 25 to 30. They have a certain level of happiness or unhappiness. And then at 30 to 40, that those statistics change, or the very happy measurement test changes. But these are all, you know what? I'm not even going to go through the video. You can go ahead and watch it for yourself. But I'm here to tell you that the number one factor to happiness is gratitude. It's not children or having children. Now, having kids can increase your level of happiness to some degree, okay? Part of that is baked into our biology, okay? You literally feel endorphins when you have a newborn child. And part of that is so that you take care of the child. It's a survival emotion that has been kind of bred into us as like I said, to survive, and to survive, for our offspring to survive. Okay, so when my friends tell me, when I saw my child being born, I felt so happy. You don't understand. I'm like, I get that you felt happy. You are wired to feel happy during that time. But what about when your child is 7 years old or 14 years old, and you're in an unhappy marriage, and you're not happy with yourself, and you don't have self-love, and you know, then you're dealing with a teenager, okay? How happy are you then? Okay, a lot of people talk about having kids, quote unquote, okay? Nobody talks about having an adult. No one talks about having a 19-year-old child or a 24-year-old child or person in your life that you're responsible for, a young adult. Okay, it's very nice and rosy when they're all, you know, 1 and 2 years old, and everything is so new to you and to them, and you know, you see all these updates on Instagram about how cute your child is. You don't see that many updates of people posting their 17-year-old kids on, you know, and kind of like, you know, celebrating every month birthday or every birthday even. Okay? So there's a novelty there, and there's also, like I said, a primal, pre-wired DNA kind of endorphin reaction to having young children. And there's no doubt, I don't disagree with your feeling of happiness when you hold your child for the first time, or when you see your child do something for the first time. And some of the other things about kind of your own way of thinking and personal growth by raising somebody, that's also that's a good reason to, you know, potentially have a child for your own self-development. But I mean, is that really a good reason, you know, that you want to self-develop by way of, you know, raising somebody else and taking on this lifelong commitment to another person just so that you can, you know, if you want self-development, take a self-development course, you know, or I don't know, start a pizza shop or a restaurant or a bakery or something, or a flower shop, start a new business. You'll learn a lot about yourself doing that. Having children is just, you know, it's such a heavy commitment. It's a tough job. That's what no one really talks about. It's a tough job. You see these kind of ads, I think it was going viral a few years ago, where these women talk about how being a mom is tougher than, or more tough than being a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And they're making these arguments about the kind of qualities and characteristics that you need to have to be a good mom, and they're on par, or if not higher, than the qualities and characteristics that you need to have to run a Fortune 500 company. And I don't disagree with that. And that's kind of the reason why I think people shouldn't rush into having kids. It's a tough job. But unlike the CEO of the Fortune 500 company, if you do a bad job, you can't just get fired as your position as a mom or a dad. You know, this is someone else's life and your life on the line. So these antiquated reasons in terms of carrying on the family legacy or personal development, or the good one, happiness, these are not good reasons to have children. Okay? So, you know, we can potentially talk about this a lot more, but I'm going to pause it here and, you know, let me know what you think in terms of whether or not having children to be happy is a good reason to have children. I'm David Nima, author of Good Problems to Have, The Anatomy of Contemporary Happiness. You can get a copy on Amazon. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, GPH Lifestyle. That's on Instagram as well as YouTube. And share this video with your friends who are thinking about having kids and think about having kids as a way of kind of reaching happiness. And kind of let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.